Before J.J. Watt became a three-time Defensive Player of the Year and one of the most feared athletes to ever step on an NFL field, he was simply a hard-working kid from a quiet Wisconsin town. His dreams weren't built overnight, and nothing was handed to him. The legend people know today, the man who terrorized quarterbacks and inspired millions, began as a boy who believed in outworking everyone around him. This documentary reveals how Watt transformed himself from an overlooked tight end into a generational defensive force. His journey is a reminder that greatness is not inherited. It's carved through discipline, sacrifice, and will. J.J. Watt was born in Pewaukee, Wisconsin, a blue-collar community where winters were harsh and work ethic was almost a requirement for survival. His parents, Connie and John Watt, were everyday heroes. His father a firefighter, and his mother involved in building inspections. They taught JJ and his brothers, TJ and Derek, the importance of responsibility, humility, and pushing through adversity. As a child, Watt wasn't the biggest or the strongest, but he was always competitive. Whether it was hockey, football, or track, he chased challenges with intensity. Those early years shaped his toughness and planted the seeds of a future champion. Football wasn't just another sport to J.J. Watt. It was the first place he ever felt completely free. As a kid brimming with energy, emotion, and competitive fire, he found the football field was the one space where he could unleash all of it. Watt has said that the physicality of the game made him feel alive, and the challenge of winning in a team environment pushed him to be better each day. But even then, nobody viewed him as a future superstar. His love for the game was personal, not fueled by outside expectations. Football gave him purpose long before fame found him. Despite his passion and effort, Watt wasn't heavily recruited coming out of high school. He didn't have dozens of offers or national attention. Instead, he accepted a scholarship from Central Michigan, a program that didn't plan to use him as a defensive star. They put him at tight end, a position he didn't feel connected to. He struggled to find his place, and deep down, he knew he wasn't becoming the player he wanted to be. So he made a bold and frightening decision. He walked away. He left his scholarship, left the security, and returned home to work as a pizza delivery driver, betting on himself in a way most people never would. Back home in Wisconsin, Watt refused to let his dream die. He approached the University of Wisconsin and asked for a chance, even as a walk-on with no guaranteed future. Coaches gave him a small window, and Watt exploded through it. Switching to defensive end unlocked a new version of himself. He trained with a desperation and hunger that stunned everyone around him. He added muscle, mastered technique, and studied film like a man possessed. Teammates said his work ethic was unmatched, as though he was running from failure and toward greatness at the same time. Slowly, the kid no one wanted became the player no one could ignore. By 2011, Watt had turned himself into a first-round prospect, but the world still didn't understand how special he was. When the Houston Texans drafted him 11th overall, many fans booed. They wanted a bigger name, a flashier pick. They didn't realize that the young man standing on stage had built himself through pure grit and sacrifice. Watt entered the NFL with a chip on his shoulder, determined to prove every doubter wrong. Houston didn't just draft a player, they'd unknowingly drafted the future identity of their franchise. Watt embraced the challenge immediately, stepping into the league ready to dominate. What happened next was one of the most dominant stretches in NFL history. From 2012 to 2015, J.J. Watt became a one-man wrecking crew. Offensive lines couldn't block him, quarterbacks couldn't escape him, and offensive coordinators couldn't sleep because of him. He racked up 69 sacks in 4 seasons, forced fumbles like clockwork, batted down passes with his signature swat, and even scored touchdowns on both defense and offense. Watt didn't just impact games, he took them over. His intensity, motor, and freakish athleticism made him a nightmare. He became the face of the Texans and one of the NFL's most unstoppable forces, earning 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards in the process. But greatness often comes with a price, and for J.J. Watt, that price was his body. His all-out playing style, the non-stop engine, the violent collisions, the refusal to take a play off, eventually took its toll. Back injuries, fractures, torn muscles, and other painful setbacks began to mount. Seasons were shortened or lost completely. Fans wondered if the dominant version of Watt was gone forever. Behind the scenes, the struggle was even harder. He spent countless hours in rehab, pushing through pain, determined not to let injuries define his story. The road back was brutal, but quitting was never an option. Even when the odds stacked against him, Watt's resilience became a story of its own. In 2019, doctors expected his torn pectoral muscle to end his season for good, yet he returned in a matter of weeks, fueled by sheer willpower. He continued to fight through adversity, proving he could still disrupt offenses and lead his team with energy and passion. In his final season with the Arizona Cardinals, Watt delivered an incredible 12.5 sacks, reminding everyone that even after years of injuries, the heart of a warrior beats louder than doubt. His comeback wasn't just physical, it was emotional, inspirational, and powerful. In 2022, after giving the game everything he had, J.J. Watt announced his retirement. It was the end of an era, a career defined not just by dominance, but by character. Watt left the field as one of the most respected players in league history, praised for his work ethic, leadership, and deep love for the sport. His final game showed flashes of vintage Watt, proving he walked away not out of weakness, but with dignity and satisfaction. His goodbye to fans was heartfelt and simple. He thanked them for their support and expressed gratitude for a journey he once dreamed of as a kid from Pewaukee. J.J. Watt's legacy is bigger than stats, awards, or highlight reels. He is a symbol of what's possible when relentless effort meets unshakable belief. He became one of the greatest defensive linemen of all time, a first-ballot Hall of Famer, and a player who redefined what dominance looks like. But beyond football, his impact includes raising over $40 million for Hurricane Harvey victims and becoming a role model for millions. Watt showed that greatness isn't about where you start, it's about how far you're willing to push yourself. His story will inspire generations long after his cleats are retired. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe for more.